Welcome back, grade 11s. Now let's look at our last concept, which is procedure for the formation of companies. First, you need to determine the people establishing the company. We need to know who are the incorporators of the company. Prepare a memorandum of incorporation, open a bank account, and register for taxation. We need to draw up a prospectus for potential investors. We need to make sure that we draw up a prospectus, which is an invitation to the public to come and buy shares in a company. Register the company at the Companies and Intellectual Property Commission, CIPC. Then we have to register the company with the CIPC so that our company will be legal. The legal requirements regarding the name of the company. The name of a company must be original and must not be misleading. So obviously when we name our company, we need to make sure that the name that we give for our company is not misleading, making sure that it's not somehow similar or slightly different from other names of businesses, because that would confuse the customer when they want to buy maybe a certain product of that business. A company's name must appear on all company documents, for example, on letterheads. So we need to make sure as a business that in each and every document of a business, there must be a company name. If a name is reserved at the CIPC, it cannot be used by another company. So here's a good thing by registering the name of the company is that if we have reserved it with the CIPC, there's no any other company that can use our name. Names can be reserved by a business for 6 months. So we need to make sure that after reserving the name with the CIPC, we start our business within the 6 months that we are given for the reservation of a name. Let's continue. Now we look at the Memorandum of Incorporation, MOI. MOI serves as a constitution of the company. So we cannot just run a business or start our company without having a memorandum of incorporation, because it is our guideline. It's a guideline of our business per se. Companies are governed according to the rules stated in the Memorandum of Incorporation. So the rules that are stated in the Memorandum of Incorporation are the ones that we are going to use as a company, that are going to give us a guideline of how this company is going to be ran. MOI includes information about a company's name, registered office, and records. So the MOI has the information about the company's name as well as the registered office of the company and the records of the company. Now we look at the aspects that must be included in the Memorandum of Incorporation. There must be a name of the company, the nature of the company, main objectives of the company, securities of the companies. Securities, we mean the shares of the companies. Name of the auditor. Now, let's look at the Notice of Incorporation. The notice must be lodged together with the standard form of the Memorandum of Incorporation, and it contains the following information. The type of the company. So, before we continue, let us just go back a little bit. The Notice of Incorporation, it's the one that has to go hand in hand with the Memorandum of Incorporation. It tells us when the business is going to start operating. So this is what must be in the Notice of Incorporation. The type of the company, the financial year end of the company, the numbers of directors, as well as the incorporation date. When will the company start operating? It has to be stated in the Notice of Incorporation. Now let's look at the meaning of prospectus. A prospectus is a written invitation to convince the public to buy shares. So obviously when we try to convince the public to come and buy shares, we issue a prospectus. A prospectus rather gives information about the business. Aspects that must be included in the prospectus: the name of the company, company overview including the vision, mission, and goals of the business. Company assets and liabilities also have to be included in the prospectus. Now, let's look at the initial public offer. The meaning of the initial public offer, IPO. This is when the company issues shares to the public for the first time. So here's a new company that has started operating now. So if they invite public, if they issue shares to the public for the very first time, we call that an initial public offering. It has never issued shares before this company. It's just started operating. The company must produce a prospectus before undertaking the initial offering. So before we sell those shares or before we issue those shares, we need to make sure that we have an invitation to the public to come and buy shares. That invitation would be our prospectus. The meaning of the secondary offering. A secondary offering is an offering of securities by a shareholder of the company as opposed to the company itself, which is a primary offering. So in the secondary offering, here's the shareholder who has bought shares in a company. Now the shareholder is selling their shares to someone else or selling their shares to someone else. So we call that a secondary offering because the shareholder has bought them before and owned those shares. Now selling them to another person, that would be secondary offering. Now, I hope that today's lesson was fruitful and looking forward to see you next time. Thank you. Bye.